Greetings, it's Catherine and Brian from Moonstarlodge in South Central Ontario with your Indigenous perspective on all things cartomancy and parapsychology and spirituality. So we're at week 2 with the completely all Thoth format, which, as I mentioned in last week's video, comes from my lifetime love personally, but not of Thoth, but not using it publicly, keeping these decks to myself. It's not understood very well, and people seem to be afraid of Thoth. But I do use these decks if someone comes to me and asks specifically for that. Anyway, with the meanings being a little bit different, you may wonder why I'm saying certain things about certain cards, but some of the Thoth meanings do swerve. So anyway, we're talking about the February 9th to the 15th. We have Valentine's in there in this week, and we're almost at the end of Wisdom Keeper. The next new moon of the third moon cycle of Weighs the Truth, W-E-I-G-H-S, Weighs the Truth, is on the 17th of February. So we're getting real close. So this is our week to optimize our work with learning and keeping our wisdom. So let's go to the cards, Brian. For this week, Spirit wanted me to use the Zillich Tarot. This is a cute little tarot in a tin that's available mass market. I don't know why I don't see it very often. It's beautiful art, and I like it very much. I like that it's portable too, in these little hands. All the rest of them are different Thoth decks, including my old greenie that was the main deck I used last week. There are no oracle cards, so it's all tarot cards for these 2 weeks, last week and this week. So our significator here is the Prince of Cups. And the Prince of Cups is the fire of water. And he can be a naughty little flirty little guy, but he's full of love and enthusiasm and mastery of the depths of our emotions, and could be considered a bit of a Lothario. However, the point here is he's bringing a joy for and an awareness of the brightness of our emotions, particularly love. And it's clarified by the Ten of Discs. This is wealth, this is legacy, suggesting that, because this is my ancestor's position in this layout, that whatever might seem short-term and short-lived that this prince is doing, because he's moving so quickly. All princes in this deck move very quickly and with assurance through their kingdom, so to speak, doing things. This is for the long run. This will be known. Whatever he does and achieves with his emotional attunement and energy will be felt by his community or the people that he knows and loves for a very long time. It's a legacy, and it is of benefit to us. So pay attention when the archetype here of the Prince of Cups, this may be someone external to some of us, it may be us ourselves, an internal aspect. It's followed by the Three of Discs, or the Three of Pentacles, or coins, depending upon which you know it by. And this represents work. It can be solitary work. It can be collective work. In other decks and other styles of decks, it's often collective work. But this can be work that we're doing. And this seems very physical, very grunt labor here. However, what we have clarifying here is the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is, in most Thoth decks, the Knight. Some people find that confusing, but it's in a Thoth deck, typically it's the Knight, then the Queen, then the Prince, and the Princess, closest to the pip cards. Anyway, this King of Cups is emotionally mature. He's sensitive to the needs of the world. He's the fire of water. So he's deeply, deeply psychic, very into not just intuition, but knows ahead, especially with the moon, what it is that we're collectively needing, what it is he needs to do for his people and his inner court. So coming right off a full moon like we are, this is an important card, particularly when it relates to the work that we're doing. So off to a good start this week. Oh, and then we have the moon. So this is the best of our intuition. This is obviously a full moon in this depiction, but it's very much using this time to get right to the heart of the matter when it comes to our wisdom walk, because of course this is Wisdom Keeper. What can it enlighten us about? Well, we have the power of the Emperor. Jason, if you're listening, the Emperor is saying, follow your intuitions. The Emperor has your back when it comes to following the intuitions in terms of building structures and infrastructures and maintaining law and order and making sure that everything is going to plan. This looks like a senior gentleman with a lot of authority and wisdom. And behind him, things are happening. So, know that. The Hierophant next. So we have law and order in the sense of religion and beliefs and spiritual connection, structure around that. So this is structure around community and empire. This is education. This is about spirituality. So the Hierophant has our back this week. We have a lot of court cards in this reading, and we have a lot of trumps with power, very powerful trumps. So we've got that corner of the pyramid covered, and it's clarified by art. Art in the Thoth decks is the same as temperance. So temperance is the one who when you temper metals, for example, you're combining different metals together. When you heat them by the fire, it changes the constituents into something bigger, bolder, better, harder, stronger, more magnificent. You can't ever deconstruct that samurai sword that you temper together back into its constituent parts. It just won't happen. It has become the best of the earthly materials combined with a spiritual savvy that comes from intuition blended with wisdom. So in art, there's a beauty around tempering. Whether you are mixing paint colors together, if you mix blue and yellow together, you get green. Can you unmix the green into blue and yellow? No, you cannot. So you're taking something and evolving it. So the angel Temperance, and she's always in historic cards pictured as an angel, is manufacturing something here in an artistic way. It's creativity at its fullest. So creativity in its exploratory manifestation and its spiritual manifestation is tempering the work here of the Hierophant. These are both major arcana cards. In fact, she's typically 14, and 14 numerologically reduces to 5, and the Hierophant is a 5. So you've got the best of the best here, midweek. The Knight of Wands is interesting. He is the fire of fire. So he has the most explosive capacity to create based on spiritual downloads. What this says to me, there's so much of this night energy and so much of fire, directly and indirectly, that there's a huge spiritual influence this week that we need to lock into here with this moon that's at the beginning of the week. The Knight, remember in Thoth deck, the Knight replaces the King. We've got the Three of Cups, and the Three of Cups is interconnection, frolic, joy, liking what we do. And I'm just going to have a look here and see if this Thoth says anything that... This is a different little deck. It's healing. There's healing and joy and connection with people around this spiritual energy. Healing is a channeled art as well. The intuition to know what to do. The Two of Discs is change, and it is change that comes from movement. If we're standing in a peaceful stance, locked, motionless, and not moving, we can't change a situation. So this fellow is leaping to make the energy to change the situation, and it's clarified by the Nine of Discs. So by moving, he's being assured that he will have everything, that we will have everything that we need. So we're being asked not to let our feet get stuck in the cement or in ice. We need to move, and we are assured that everything we need will come to us. We have the Prince of Swords. So this prince, he's holding his sword up in the air. He's on his steed. He is the fire of air. Intellectual sharpness, knowledge, complete and utter ownership of knowledge, swift thinking, doesn't stall around making decisions, a very effective communicator, and swiftly, when receiving knowledge, make sure, or information or communication, that he passes it on. And it's clarified by the Six of Swords, which in this deck is science. Science represents having everything of the elemental level in the earthly third dimension and co-creating with spirit. So we've got everything, and when you have those intuitions and those breakthroughs that come from spirit, when you're working with the things of this dimension, you have science. Every scientist that ever lived, including Einstein, has said that their greatest ideas come when they least expect it, as an intuition or a dream sometimes. So there are very few cards. Oh, you can flip the camera, Brian. Most of these cards are talking about intuition and inner knowledge and not being afraid of running with inspiration that we get. The word inspiration comes from the Latin inspiritus, which is to be inspired, to breathe in inspiration, to take in. Like think of respiration, to inspire is to take in thoughts and feelings and knowledge from spirit. So this is saying it's a very important week, this week, just with the full moon and after, to know that spirit will be trying to communicate with us and give us resources, knowledge, information, and to do our best to listen to it, combine it, temper it, as temperance would have it, temper it with what we can do here in this dimension and co-create something that's different and beautiful. So, as always, the information will be posted on the socials, and I can always message or email information to people, like photos of the cards and things, if you want to study them. I often do study them, not with the point of going, oh, I should have said this and I should have said that. I just take what was given in the moment and I work it through how it fits in my life. Anyway, thank you for all your support on the Coffee platform. Any donations are so very welcome, trying to keep all this filming equipment and stuff going. And we thank you for all your kind comments and everything that you do. I am taking readings this month. You can look up on the website and fill in a form if you want a reading or contact me. And I meet with somebody for 2 hours for channeling with cards, and then we can do counseling, spiritual counseling, which is separate from this work, but it's all part of the same continuum. And that's an hour. Anyway, from Brian and I, miigwech, be at peace, aho.